Good afternoon. And before I say anything, yes, Brett, how you doing, mate? I couldn't even believe it. I just set the stream up and I went just looking at things before I've started the broadcast. And Brett come in, yes. So you're getting it back, pal. Hope you're doing all right. Thanks for jumping on. Whether you're jumping on now or retrospectively, doesn't it really matter? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying positive. That's the main thing, isn't it, guys? Hope you're staying positive. So thank you. It's only going to be a short stream because I just want to kind of talk about a few points, really. But firstly and foremost, I'd like to thank Katie Jane Swallow, Children's Matter.news, and the affiliates. Katie Jane offers endless support to this channel and many others. So I've got to give her big props for that because she's a diamond and she'll probably jump in on here at some point. But other than that, without her, yes, look who it is. Speak of the old devil. Yes. And there's Brett. He got in first. Brett was in there before he even put the stream live. Subject access. Yes, buddy. How you doing, mate? I hope you made the journey. I hope you're all right. I hope you made the journey into Manchester all right. I hope you've not been given a section 35 because I know you got that in Liverpool. Chatting to my man before. Yes, Brett. Yes. Well, basically, mate, subject access. It got me thinking. I wasn't going to do a live. As you know, we spoke earlier about my plans for this weekend. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking about collaborations. It got me thinking about positive YouTubers. It got me thinking about the current climate we're in. And it got me thinking about what's going to get us out of this. Is it going to be egos? Is it going to be narcissism? Is it going to be just people running around cavalier thinking that pardon my French, the dog's bollocks? No, it isn't. None of them. It's going to come from honest people that are all just fundamentally wanting to fight the same dark energy, but do it in such a positive way without stepping on other people's toes, because ultimately we all need each other in this. Whether you think it or not, you might think you've got 100,000 subs and you're the king dick, but let me tell you, your subs don't mean shit. Let me drop that to you now. Doesn't matter. It's about who you are as an individual. It's about what you can provide as an individual. And it's about the collaborations you can have. The time's gone now where people just sit there on their own channel and go, you know what, I'm all right. I've got my sub. Yeah, you have. But you'll find that people that will get on in this activism are the people that talk to each other, collaborate, help each other out, offer support. They're the ones that are going to move on. They're the ones that people ultimately will flock to because they'll start to see a group of people forming. So it was a big rant, and I've not even finished yet. Not even finished yet. So I just thought I'd say hello, Subject Access. Subject Access is on his way to Manchester if he's not already here, because I do believe he will be covering tomorrow's march. So that is brilliant. A guy from out of town, out of his own pocket, his own time, massive platform, coming to film and document what has been going on in Manchester. Kudos to you, sir. Yes, he would. And he's a bit busy over this weekend, but we've already said we're going to get together at some point, hopefully, or maybe even invite him on this stream, and have a chat. Have a chat. It's about peoples. It's not about size of channels. I've got the same respect for Subject Access as I've got for MKE Media. Now, people probably go, who's he? MKE Media is a local lad from Manchester that I only discovered a few weeks ago when I was roaming round in Liverpool. He's got from what I know, less than 150, less than 160 subscribers. Yeah. What he delivers, what he documents, he might as well have 30,000 subscribers. The guy's brilliant. He's laid back. He's happy to work with people. He doesn't come with an attitude. He doesn't come with this stinky kind of, let's leave them over there. No, he's on it. He's an open guy. And when you've got people like that, you kind of attract a niceness around you. You attract people of like-minded niceness around you. So people will want to work with you. And because people will want to work with you, you'll find you'll start doing more things. You know what I'm saying? Because he's such a nice guy, he's on my channel. I've spoke about him, big him up. I'm on his channel, so we're both getting something out of it. Subject access, it's the same. It's one big positive fucking YouTube merry-go-round, and I love it. And I'm gonna shut up. How you doing, guys? Oh yes, Graham. What's happening is, mate, is coming in for a quick chat, and I'll try and get to it in a minute. I'm just going to address some of the comments while I'm here. Why is there a track and trace sign up? Because that is a joke, Emma. I do that as a joke. It's to take the piss out of the fact that every part of our life is being tracked and traced. Every part of it. You know what I mean? So that's just a reminder. It's not anything to say, but let's face it, we're all being watched. But the bottom line is, do you live in fear of that? No, you don't. Do you? And I've got a feeling the door's going to knock any minute. Oh. Something's gone through my letterbox. Yes. Yeah, I hope so too, mate. Right, let me get back to these comments in chronological order here because I'm all over the place. When's tomorrow's march going to be? Semantics means that you've answered your own question there, but it's going to be in the centre of Manchester, I guess around 1, 2 o'clock. I don't know for sure. I'm not an organizer. I'm not in touch with any of the organizers, but I can tell you now it'll probably be in the centre of Manchester, so emanating around Piccadilly Gardens, I would have said, and then it'll roughly be from 1, 2 o'clock onwards. Yes. Subject is a dude. There you go. Much love and props on here. What did I mean? You didn't miss anything, mate. You missed me blowing smoke up every YouTuber's ass that I get on with. That's what you missed. You've not missed a lot. It puts me in a good spirit, a good mood, right? Because one thing I will say, going back, these guys, that anyone, I had a week of weeks last week. I was out Saturday, Sunday. I was uploading, literally programming all and editing and making music all last week. I was interjecting that not only with the streams, but then with several uploads. And I had like nearly 10 uploads, and I'm like, man, that was a busy week last week. Yeah. Don't want any thanks. I'm not asked. I enjoy doing it. But this is the thing that we all must appreciate with YouTubers. Subject access, as you know, is from down south. He, from what I see, has been traveling up and down the country, going to different marches, documenting them. Now, I don't do that as much anymore. When I first started my YouTube, man, I was the man about town. I was from Scotland to Sunderland, from Sunderland to Newcastle, from Newcastle to London, and all over the bleeding show. And there wasn't a weekend where I wasn't going somewhere. That had a somewhat detrimental effect on my life and my family and my revenue that I earn. Didn't complain, just got on with it. At the time, I had PayPal, which helped somewhat. But you still miss out on your time. You still lose your family time. And you lose your connections as well. You know what I mean? Lost touch with a lot of friends over that period. So I realized, because I'm a family man, because I've got my job, and because I like my music, because I like doing other things external from YouTube, I can't live that life anymore. But that doesn't mean to say that I don't recognize that when other YouTubers are out every week, like nutters. And it's brilliant because the people ultimately are the beneficiaries of them people sacrificing their time, effort, and their technological prowess. So we've got to big up your Subject Access, your Katie Jane Swallows, your MKE Media, your Tyrant Finders, your Dolly Daydream, your Real Woke Shows. They all deserve a massive pat on the back, right? How anyone wants to thumb down, how anyone wants to get in on their content in their comment section, I don't know. If you was to spend a week in the shoes of an activist that is on his toes, of an activist that edits his arse off, of an activist that is trying to culminate different stories and put it out in a positive way. If y'all could spend a week, then maybe you might moderate the comments. You might moderate how you talk to these people. And if you see them on the street, give them the ultimate kudos. Because all of a sudden they've gone from being an individual to now being a citizen journalist, having to find the fucking feet. And I'm sorry for ranting, but it's a good order that is starting to develop around a so-called movement that had a nasty connotation to it not so long back. A connotation that people were becoming a victim of, were becoming a product of. And I don't feel that now. I feel there's many YouTubers that are positive, that are just as adamant as you in terms of the point that you want to document, but they're decent people. And that makes a hell of a fucking difference to what I'm seeing with other YouTubers that do nothing but backbite, get on other YouTubers, start doing other YouTube videos, dissing, calling them out, which is only going to create that boomerang effect. And you think, really? Where's that going? Created enemies all over the place. So it's brilliant. This is just literally to say, yes, yes, and we've got TK. Yes, yes. See what I mean? The fucking love in this chat. The love. You know what I'm saying? And we all know it. We all know it. Yes, Subject. We're all there, mate. So if anyone, give these guys Subject Access, MKE Media, give them all the props tomorrow when you see them. It's looking very unlikely that I can make London tomorrow, Manchester tomorrow. It's looking very unlikely. I'm absolutely gutted. I was talking to Subject before. I was talking to Katie before. And when they told me about it, I'm like, man, I feel like a kid in the classroom, right? I've been told to stay behind. It's bleeding snowing outside. And I'm looking at my mates fucking throwing snowballs through the window at each other, just messing, sledging, whatever, having a right nobble, building snowmen. And I'm sat there and the teacher's gone, get them lines done, right? Not to say that I'm on detention, because I'm actually, I've got to do some home improvements. So there's not a lot I can do. I can't go running about Cavalier every weekend and expect to keep a wife. Just ain't going to happen, is it? So I'm gutted. Yes, Subject, would you come and talk on to Children's Matter? I'm sure he would at some point. I'm sure he would. Police abusing powers is a very... All right. He does live chat streams on Sundays. Well, I mean, particularly with the police abusing powers with what's going on. I mean, I was looking at a video of a company called Arco. And it would turn out that Arco, from what I can see, They're the company that's basically handing out the fines to individuals when they're getting pulled for going to marches. Now, I can't say that they're the only company, but what I can say is that I have seen a video with a individual from Birmingham talking about it, and he's shown his letter which was letterheaded from Arco, and this was sent from a sub, so thank you if you're watching this. And it turns out that these guys, it seems like they're running amok. Whether you can call it corruption, it's a new form of corruption because it is open and legal loophole form of corruption, if you're going to call it that. So it's a company that's set up where you've got heads of the company that actually are in high positions of the police. But yet this company is also the same company that if you then incur a £250 fine, that's the company you're paying it to. So it's very dodgy. And I was looking through some of the expenses, and because you can go straight in because it's a company. The funny thing is, this guy intimates that it's a limited company and he went on Company House. It's also got offshore dealings as well. Offshore dealings. I was looking through some of the expenses, and there's a section that comes under secondment, and it mentions Bermuda. And when you look it up, it means that they've got someone in Bermuda that they're using to facilitate as a loophole to no doubt mitigate all kinds of shit that you and I are not lucky enough to mitigate. We know what these offshore accounts are all like, generally around taxes and other things in order to mitigate. So it's ironic that these guys are using legal loopholes to mitigate the fuck, pardon the French, out the system. But as soon as you want to live and walk down the street, you get a £250 fine, which then has to go to these people, which is headed by highly influential people within the police force, getting paid to a company that is offshore, mitigating. So is that irony or what? It just seems very uncanny. Yes, Steve. How we doing, La? My fine says Acro at the top too. I don't know. I didn't know it was a private company. And hey, children matter. Yeah. Well, let me just if I can a little look. I show you what I've only had a little perusal. That's all it needed. So let me just check. There you go. Just get on here. Acro. Effective and responsible criminal records information services. Sounds all legit. International Criminal Conviction Exchange. So the passing records, and what better way to pass records than am I getting another knock at the door? Sorry, I've got weird men. It's not the police or something. What better way when you've got men at the top that have already got the hive of all the information they could get anyway. So it's amazing. It's amazing how like the animals are running the zoo. You know what I mean? ACRO is a national police unit responsible for exchanging criminal conviction information between the UK and other countries. We have delegated responsibility for managing the UK Central Authority for the exchange of criminal records with other EU member states. So they're just passing it around willy-nilly, you know what I'm saying? And if it, we want, in some ways, you want a system that will do this, So I can't say this system shouldn't be there. It leaves a bad taste though when you do see the people at the top of it are actually policemen themselves and high-ranking police officers as well. And there was one section. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there it is. Right, just let me come out of this. It's Dodger. So this is the PDF of the expenses and whatnot. Is this the right one? Out of there. Right. Try and get on the right page here. Because it gives a list and you go through the accounts, and I just want to get to that bit where it actually says Bermuda. It's very telling. Very telling. Shows you that they're circumnavigating, but you can't circumnavigate. You can't even walk the street. And that's not even counting the manner in which that you grabbed off the street as well. Should have probably got this up before, so I do apologize because I wasn't actually thinking of putting this up. Yeah. A leader in the field of criminal records and biometric information, we provide a range of services that deliver operational benefits to law enforcement and public protection teams. Help bring offenders to justice, right? So MKE Media, you're an offender, mate. You're an offender that needs to be brought to justice. Never mind. Have you got an offshore account in Bermuda, MKE? Because if you haven't, then you know what, mate? I think these are doing more harm to society by not paying in the right amount of taxes and stuff. Oh, you know what? Where is it now? Populations, police certificates, publications, services, news. Oh, I can't even think where I got it from. I was looking through it this morning and it blew my mind a little bit. It did blow my mind. No, that's not it. Right, I'm gonna have to come out. I'll have another look in a bit. Have another look in a bit. But you can see that from that, we have got it stacked up against us. The track and trace system is the same. It's stacked up against us. You've got normal everyday citizens working that track and trace system, working for like £10 an hour plus. Who owns the track and trace system? Who's buying into the track and trace system? So what you do seem to think is that it's not so much corruption, it's legitimate people in positions of high authority that are utilizing their power in order to put the grasp on other people and possibly make money out of it along the way as well. We've heard it so many times, the amount of politicians that, oh, don't they seem to have shares in that pharmaceutical company? You know, and different things like that. So when they're now saying that a vaccination is going to be here soon and everyone should get it, has he got a vested interest? Is it a conflict of interest? Do you even have an opinion on this? But yet no one can say anything and you daren't post anything? Mate, I'm talking about it. We're not that lucky. We've got to do things the normal way, the hard route. And you can see by doing it the hard way, you get beat down at every obstacle and there's no mitigation. No mitigation. But yet, once you've levitated to a certain area, then opportunities open up, contracts open up. I mean, man, yes, Paul, and I hope you're feeling better as well, Kate. I hope you are. And you ran away, girl. Right, where are we? Let me have a look. Let me get something else up here because there was something else. Talking about corruption, and it's funny because I've been in Liverpool for a few weeks, a couple of weeks ago, and the good citizens of Liverpool were being castigated. They were being grabbed in a manner that even shocked me. And I kind of roll around there fearless. I don't care. I'm not cavalier, but I don't care. It's like almost they can't really do too much when you don't care anymore. I'm not going to do something overtly to get myself in trouble. But me carrying that fear is not helping me either. And I think that is, it's almost like a dog can smell the scent. So if they can smell that fear, they've got you. If you let them know that you're not fearful of what they're going to do to you, it somehow will psychologically put them on the back foot. You're not asking for anything. Don't want to be put in cuffs. So when I'm going around Liverpool and I'm seeing this guy, the mayor, castigating the good citizens of Liverpool and anyone else who wanted to turn up there, there was a couple of good occasions. The last one was a sorry one to watch because of the nature of it. When you're talking innocent people who haven't got offshore accounts, getting gripped, £250 fines. And I think MKE got his £250 fine in Liverpool. Then this story comes up. Mayor of Liverpool, Joe Anderson, arrested along with 4 others in police probe. City leader, the mayor, yeah, affluent, influential. One of 5 men arrested as part of an investigation into building and development contracts in Liverpool. You know, you walk down the street, and just for walking down the street, I see a lad on that march get beat up by police officers, and he done nothing more than walk down the street with a covering over his face and a hood up. Wasn't creating any violence. And the treatment was something that will live with me for a while. But yet, is it cronyism? Is it corruption? It's mitigation. How the elevated part of society is allowed that mitigation, and how the 99% is not allowed that mitigation. And we see that in whatever. We'll see that in getting loans. We'll see that in the judiciary, how that level of mitigation and the doors just open a little bit more for someone who's a bit more affluent, influenced. You know what I'm saying? Fuck y'all. The city leader was arrested earlier today by Merseyside police. This was a few days ago, along with 4 other men in connection with offences of bribery and witnessed intimidation as part of an investigation into building and development contracts in Liverpool. Dodgy, but yet walking your dog down the town centre, particularly if there's other people around you. So was he social distancing when he was doing all this corrupt shit going on? Or is this allegedly? Detectives made arrests at addresses throughout the city as well as Ormskirk and Southport. The arrests are part of an ongoing investigation, police said today. Yeah, better be ongoing. Confirming the details of the arrest, police said the following 5 people have been arrested. A 72-year-old man. 72-year-old man, right? I mean, corruption don't have an age bracket, but that's a bit of a shock to the system. Jesus Christ. Isn't he vulnerable? Shouldn't he be self-isolating or something? What's going on there? Has been arrested. I don't even know where that is. I've been arrested on suspicion of witness intimidation. What the fuck? A 72-year-old man is intimidating witnesses. Man, he must have some stature. What's he doing? I'm going to shove this cane where the sun don't shine if you don't do as I say. I don't know. Probably making light of it, but a 62-year-old man from Old Swan has been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit bribery and witness intimidation. Look at these, man. These guys, practically one of them's signing on for a pension. The other one is due for a pension, and he's more worried about doing all this. Oh, what? A 33-year-old man from West Derby has been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit bribery and witness intimidation. So this has been a fucking, like, the Three Amigos here, isn't it? You know what I mean? And the 72-year-old and the 62-year-old should really be showing the right path to the 33-year-old. Know what they're doing. This is how you do it, son. This is how you do it. 46-year-old man from Ainsdale has been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit bribery and witness intimidation. A 25-year-old man, getting a bit younger, Ormskirk, has been arrested on suspicion of witness intimidation. The Echo understands that the 62-year-old man arrested directly elected Mayor of Liverpool, Joe Anderson. So the 62-year-old man, let's go back. The 62-year-old man from Old Swan has been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit bribery and witness intimidation. You're walking the street, £250 fine, you're getting grabbed like you're a gypsy, you're getting thrown in the back of a van, you're getting dropped off at tram stops, like me nephew did in Manchester. You're getting probably you're profiled, you're getting all your details looked into, you're getting the embarrassment of being pulled in the street for being a human being. Yet these OAPs and a couple of young'uns are running around intimidating half of Liverpool and the other half the bribing. But yet, you go on a march there, he won't think twice of calling you far right. He won't think twice of saying that you're killing the population of Liverpool. And I think, man, this is the same as Arco. People in elevated positions taking the piss. Now, we've got to be said, there's an element of this is humanity. This is the dark within humanity. Because we've all got to admit it. How many people, if they had the same position, would do it? Would do it. We've got to admit it. When it comes to being elevated, scruples have to kick in, don't they? Morals, obligation. But yet, the temptation to utilize that power to advance yourself, credibility, more power, more influence, higher up the career ladder, a bigger fucking wage bracket, or all of them must be alluring. But Paramount is doing the right thing, innit? And then is it not like rubbing salt in the wounds? If you're running around intimidating when you should be claiming your fucking pension, but then you're castigating the very citizens that have put you in there, and as well as bribing and intimidating them as well. I'm like, what is the world on? No wonder why I stick my headphones on and I make beats. And anyone who's creative at this moment in time, kudos to you. Well, you can't say that, Tina. You can't say that. There is nothing to suggest that. The only thing you can suggest is you've got a dodgy mayor in Liverpool. And he's got associates that are older and younger that are just as dodgy. That is it. He seems to be corrupt when it comes to planning and who can do what in that town. So, yeah, that's what you can say. How that stems into religion, I have no idea. Joe Anderson has links to drug gangs and enforcers too, with connections to security companies in Liverpool. Sigma 44, I didn't know that, but I'm almost certainly going to say to you that wouldn't surprise me. The reason why that wouldn't surprise me is because I'm kind of a pretty decent judge of character, right? And I can look at someone and go, you know what? He's not wet behind the ears. He might be a dick, might not like him, might not be into his politics. But in terms of him knowing individuals around that town, damn right, Liverpool ain't as big as you think. The door companies, security companies, there's only a few of them. Drug dealers, when it comes to the big boys, there's even less of them. So yeah, don't surprise me that he knows. He knows. It's the way it is, isn't it? Cronyism, corruption, or just bang out wrongings in the wrong position. Who can't? Me, Taylor. I can't say that about. Are you referring to me there, mate? Because I didn't say anything that I can't substantiate with what I've read. Nothing like a cold brew. So yeah. Well, how do you fight that? You fight it by owning it, realizing it. For me, not getting mad, not getting angry. Anyone who's a politician who is up to shenanigans now, you know, offshore accounts, secondments in Bermuda, wherever else, fucking Jersey, yeah. If I go to address it by going to his property and kicking off at him because he's a corrupt motherfucker, pardon my French, you know what's going to go down. It ain't going to work. The powers that be are going to protect him. So, in terms of fighting this, it goes back really in full circle. How you've got your subject accesses, how you've got your children's matter.news, how you've got your TKE media, how you've got your tyrant finders, and all the other decent people that are going out documenting. It's keeping you cool, letting them know that you're not going anywhere, letting them know that you're going to document that shit. It don't have to be with malice. It don't have to be on a personal level so they can then get injunctions out on you. No. It's being, I guess, a new form of media. I mean, the Echo's quick to do this to their own mayor, but they won't put a positive spin or they won't accurately depict what went on in Liverpool on them two occasions that I was there. So they're just disingenuous, even if it looks like they're not asked about digging the ribs into the mayor. Don't worry, Kate. I was talking about you're not to you. No, I was just talking about the various YouTubers and the role and obligation they've got now in being the front line in documenting this, but doing it in such a way where you can mitigate the crap that they're giving you. So straight away, if you're going to get a Section 35, what's the best way to mitigate it? What can I say that might improve the chances of getting out of this? I'm just screaming at them. And I've done it. You've all seen me do it. We've got to be smarter, got to be more laid back, got to be more intelligent when it comes to being out there and the people that we have around us, the information that we're getting and how we're collating it and how we're putting it back out. Because we have an obligation not to really create vibes within the community in which we're posting to as much as the information that we're posting, if you get that. Last drink of my cold brew. Watch these companies taking in the fines. They are They are only made to take on the value of the fine. They will be bailed out when the fines are ruled illegal. That's what I think. Well, I think everyone's got the right to contest the fine, and maybe that could be the use of contesting it, bringing up the company. It's a legal loophole. Like I say, there's nothing overtly corrupt about this because this is an element of corruption. This is legal, so it's no longer illegal. It's loopholes, offshore mitigations. Politicians do it, stars do it, they all do it. We don't do it. Like MKE Media says, we're not in that facility. We ain't got that money to do that. You know, money comes to money. They might as well be, mate. They might as well, you know, because it's all an agenda that's coming towards us that is anti the proletariat, not pro proletariat. That's how it feels. I mean, even England, I've got a document there. I'll have to dig it out one time. England is registered as a company. England, the police, and everything else. So we're all employees. That's not a conspiracy. You're right, Double O. Totally right. Totally right. But it's a legal mitigation. It's something that you can't say they're doing anything illegal because all of the accounts up there, they're being totally transparent. But the one thing when they said that, when it goes back to the secondment in Bermuda, it means that they're just legally mitigating, and it shouldn't happen. You shouldn't get your Googles and your Starbucks and other big conglomerate companies that get away with paying fuck all in taxes just because they're the big boys. Why? How is it all of a sudden gone? It should be the other way round. The little guy's paying the most amount of tax, and the big guy is like paying virtually nothing. How? What upside world are we living in here? So this is all kind of just comes in line. And you've got people in high power that run these companies and now distributing fines to people with a legitimate company that is providing a legitimate service to people in the EU states. The expenditure is crazy what we go through. The IT is something like best part of 400 grand that I looked, and that was just one specific payment. Fuck knows how often they're paying. So it just shows you the systems that they've got running in place. And if they've got them systems in place, how much of a hold they've got for distributing information. And then when you go back to the Serco, and then when you go back to the hold of your mobile phone and the surveillance state, yeah, these are just all conglomerate companies, you could argue, that are kind of working together now to entrap the individual. Yes, Helen, how you doing? Is that a shamrock? Look at the bleeding iris to you. That's what I've got to say. Seriously. Well done. And I hope it's cool in Chicago. I bet the weather is cold in Chicago. What's the weather saying, Ellen? I bet it's blizzards and everything in it. The fines are going to a cold sea poser and it's run by cops. Well, from what I've seen, it's Acro. Acro. And let me just look. Where do we? Get rid of that. Acro Criminals Records Office is a national police unit in the UK. We provide a range of criminal records information services to law enforcement and public protection agencies, as well as the public. But same again, this is run by members of the police as well. Meet the team. Should we meet the team? Let's meet the team. Acro is hosted by Hampshire Constabulary. All Acro staff are employed as Hampshire Constabulary police staff with access to the force's benefits and terms and conditions, including a competitive salary and a pension scheme, generous holiday allowances, family friendly and flexible working practices, and employee support. That warms my heart. I'm self employed and got to put a pot to piss in, probably a month away from, bankruptcy. But a job's a job, and people got to do a job, I guess. So, PNC services, police certificates, board meetings, well, everything's here. So they're not hiding anything. This isn't illegal. It's just working against the people as well as probably doing what you could say a beneficial job by distributing information to apprehend criminals. But it's almost like the public have become the criminals now to a degree with the way that they're rolling this out. News services. Let's have a look in there. Try to look for that section again. One bit. Services. Bear with me, folks. I'm just trying to get that section. Here we go. These reports detail expenses, reimbursements made to ARCO chief officers. The chief executive and the head of ARCO expenses are reimbursed when they have been necessarily incurred by the officers while exercising their duties. Hospitality is given to help policing business. Fucking nice, that, innit? Or when it is considered desirable as a matter of courtesy or protocol. The reports are updated through the years, so they're not hiding nothing. Look, substance, £7. That's the head of Acro. What's he doing? What was he doing on the 2nd of March? £7. What's he bought there? Jesus, that's an expensive pint, isn't it? So let me come out of this. Can. Right, here we go. Expenditure. That's what I was looking at. Let me get to that Bermuda bit. Because I just want to show it. All the list here. There it is. There's the sucker right there. Yeah. See it? Fact. We do summit. Screenshot that, baby. Get in here. Get there. No, we don't want that. On the fly here, guys. On the fly. Right. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du. You can barely see that, can you? Well, that didn't help, did it? Just make out there Bermuda secondments, staff, non-travel. Yeah. 9th of the 4th, 2020. And then it's going through the bank there. Substance. So, in what way? Is that you gone, babes? Right, one sec. Apologies there, guys. Apologies. So, let's get to some comments. Well, it shouldn't. I'm allowed a second job, but there's elements where you do feel that because they're in an high elevation, an elevated role, the doors for more elevated roles open up. And same again. I mean, look at it this way. They like to think that the little guy, you can be anything you want in this world, and you possibly can, because maybe some of these guys was little guys, and look at them now, they're fucking running the world, aren't they? But it's clear that they don't spread the love. It seems to be a boys' club or a girls' club in terms of keeping the power in the place that they want to keep it, and distributing the booty between themselves. That is like pirates, isn't it? We are. You're right there, dude. Acro is hosted by our policing powers derive from having a superintendent from the constabulary in a position of the head of Acro. All Acro staff are employees of the force. Yeah, I've just read that out. You're right. You are right. Is that the last comment? Yeah, that must be the last comment. So, how do you get out of this? How do you get out of it? For me, it's shining a light. Shining a light. Letting them know you conniving gits. And we're watching you. And we'll document you. And the media are keeping out of it. They play the game. No doubt you'll have media companies that will maybe have, I can't say because I don't know, but there'll be elements where they will be circumnavigating the system themselves that we don't get the luxury of doing. So it is like a big club that when you do wake up, you realize that, man, these guys don't govern us. They don't. That governing you is probably the last thing that they do, really. Is keeping that grip, keeping you in your position and extracting as much from you as possible. And if you think that if you live your life as a normal individual up to the age of being a pensioner, in the view that when you're finished and you're going to relax and have a chilled life, you think these systems like this have beat you down 30, 40, 50 years until there's probably not a lot left in you anyway. And unless you're a 62-year-old mayor that can get away with bribing and intimidating people, then you're going to become a casualty of it, aren't you? So this scratches to an even bigger thing that you can appreciate why people don't want to wake up. I can totally appreciate it when you can see the scope of what it is in front of you. That is attacking you as an individual and as a community and nationally and globally. It's intimidating. It's scary. You don't know your feet within it. And ultimately, like my boss said a couple of years ago, when we were talking about the YouTube, I don't know how you do it. I just want to go on to get along, live my life, and probably generate enough wealth to make him and his family happy. And that is a noble thing. But the other thing is looking away from the activist side of yourself, knowing that shit's not right. It's not right. What I can do as an individual, barely nothing. But the one thing I did realize when I come onto YouTube, I knew I wasn't alone. And I know that. And for all of my channel, right, the amount of subs I've got, the amount of support I've got, which is great, and other subbers and other YouTubers, it pales into insignificance when you've got the individual on the street that if they really sat and thought about it, they'd be right with you. So what am I trying to say? This is a time where you're probably going to feel alone. You're going to probably feel that you're outmanned and we've got no hope. What I would say is the contrary. We've got more hope than we actually realize. We've got more strength and power that we actually realize. The problem is we're still trying to find our feet with all this shit. All of us. People have been doing 30, 40 years, so we shouldn't be feeling guilty right now because things ain't working quite how we want. When people have died over talking about this shit 30 years ago. And look where it got them. So all we can do is pass the baton, pass the baton, pass the baton. That is building up hope that more people are awakening. That is building up a resistance of the mindset, still being civil, still being law-abiding, but a resistance which will build up a fear factor of fucking zero. Yeah? Sorry for the rambling. And my comments don't seem to want to come back in. No. 007 is the last comment on there, and there's nothing reposting from there. So this ain't a doom and gloom, guys. If you're going tomorrow to Manchester, I'm so envious. I don't know whether I can make it. I'm pretty much certain it ain't going to happen. And I'm gutted. I'm gutted. So make sure you go there. Show no fear. Enjoy. Celebrate being a human being. Being out there. Don't let them bulldog police, the dark element within certain individuals within that police, don't let them smell the scent of fear within the proletariat. If they smell that scent of fear, if you, metaphorically speaking, drop a drip of blood into the sea and you're on a dinghy that's inflating, and you know you're in warm waters where the sharks lurking, man, they're on you. Yeah? If you let them sharks know you come near me, I'm going to beat your ass with this paddle. Yeah? You're going to get mad with it. If you know when you stand in front of them police, dude, I'm a free, sentient human being. I am not going to challenge you to the point where you have got the ammunition. I'm just going to inform you that what you're doing is fundamentally wrong. And you can take me if you want. But in the public court of opinion, the moment you grab me, you've lost. The moment you give me a dispersal order, you've lost. And that public court of opinion is a courtroom that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's more defendants that are going to be in that public court of opinion on trial, metaphorically speaking. So I can't be there. But what I would say, anyone there tomorrow, go there, be happy, be positive, be yourself, live life to the full, whether it be tomorrow or over the Christmas period. If I could, I would. I can't. Otherwise, I'm getting a divorce. Seriously, simple as that. So, big up to Subject Access, childrensmatter.news, MKE Media, and anyone else who's going to go down there tomorrow to cover the event. I've heard it's going to be big. I've heard it's going to be lively. Keep yourself on point. Keep yourself safe. Tiptoe like a ballet dancer. If you see shit go on in. Although I will say last week, the police were fine in Manchester. I will say that. So enjoy the occasion. And I'm just going to be forever thinking about you, really. So I'm going to get going because it seems my comments have just totally gone on me and they're not re-scrolling. I hope you have a brilliant weekend. If you're not going to go, then tune in to the other YouTubers, MKE Media. Make sure you get him up there. Subject Access. Make sure you lock into what he's doing. Childrensmatter.news. Make sure you lock in to what that lovely little Napoleonic spanner grabbing individual will be doing as well. So I'm going to get going. I'm going to see if I can scrape down some of these keystones. I've got to paint tomorrow. Gutted. But have a good time, guys. Let's hope it's positive and let's keep the fight going. One thing I will say, I will be back Sunday to have a stream, a live stream at some point Sunday with the YouTube favourite Brick Girl is in the house Sunday. I'd like to give a big thanks to the modder, if Great Brit's in here, if he's not, whatever, and all the others, and particularly to the subbers who show enough love and support to this channel. Thank you very much. It is so appreciated you doing that. With any YouTuber, when you're carrying a lot of weight of what you're doing, it is so nice to get a comment of support Don't have to blow smoke up your ass. Just showing that support, saying, mate, I see what you're doing. Nice one. That means the bloody world. So keep that going. And you know what? You haters are still going to keep hating. So, hey, keep hating. Keep hating. Because where would you be without the haters? You know what I mean? So the only thing I've got to say, now we're talking about haters, is I love you all.
I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all.
Even the pissing haters.
I love you all. 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 I love you all.